What I find so disturbing about men who use women for sex or attempt to use women for sex is that these men believe they are morally superior. They still believe they are good Christians. They still believe that they are better than women. And if the woman stands up for herself, she is vilified. The last guy who tried that with me claimed to be a Christian. He claimed that he cared about others. He would say blessed. He would talk about God and Jesus as if he was holier than thou. The whole time he saw me as a sex object and would say strange things such as, oh, you don't have substance, even though I would try to have a deep conversation with him about race, colorism, featureism, texturism, anti-blackness, classism, ableism, homophobia, transphobia, you name it. He only said I didn't have substance because I didn't say anything that he found interesting. I didn't talk about shaking ass. I didn't talk about Instagram models. I didn't talk about being cool or anything like that. I wasn't exciting to him when it came to those type of topics. And then when I called him out on it, he got defensive and said, well, I was just going to use you for sex anyway. You're not important. I can't even take you out on a date. But yet, for some reason, all of his friends think he's a nice guy. They think he's a good person and that I'm wrong for even confronting him about it. And I think what annoys me is that when I say I'm done with black men like him, everyone is all, no, 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 it's not about skin color. It's not about race. There are good and bad people in every race or skin color. But this man can say he doesn't want a basic black girl, and everyone just applauds him. They applaud him for wanting to marry a foreign while using black women like me for just their bodies. These are the kind of people that wonder why black women like me are the way that we are, because we are constantly sexualized, we are constantly used, and then when we finally confront the person doing those things to us, we get vilified, we get demonized, we get called crazy, we get called obsessive, even though the person who is using us is obsessively trying to get under our skin. That man that I told you about is one of those people that will do things to get me to react.
That shit there, no can do, guys. Hey, bitch, you going too far. No can do.
And this girl is so dumb. She pretty much told on herself. One could say that she is telling on herself, and she's just admitting that she is a woman who gave that monkey up to numerous of men, right? Probably because she's a feminist, and your feminists look at sex as empowerment. So, I mean, she just gave it all up to any and everybody, and the guy's looking at her and saying, this is not somebody that I would really want to be with, but this is somebody that I can knock boots with. But you know, I'm still a religious guy, because you can still be religious and still sleep around, right? I mean, let's keep it a being. Is that something that you want to do? No, but I mean, if you're just going out here, you just, oh man, you know, I kind of want to, you know, fiddle with her. I might want to mess with her. And this is the issue that a lot of women have. A lot of women think that they are marriage material. When you look at this woman, she thinks she is marriage material. She thinks that she is somebody worth taking serious. You're not. You're not. Look at your mindset. Look at your mindset. And guess what, guys? You know we're going to go over some TikTok videos to really see how bad her mindset is. But you come on here, you essentially trying to make it seem as if this guy is a certain way, when once again, a lot of you women are just not marriage material or dating material. And we see your mindset. And you think that you can do the same thing as men. You think that you can do the same thing as men and get the same results. But statistically, it shows that y'all can't even get the same results. All right, with 70 to 80% of your black women being single mothers, if y'all could do the same thing that men could do, y'all would be able to get married. Y'all would be able to get remarried easily. Y'all would be able to stay in a marriage. If y'all were the same as men, single mothers will not be finding it hard to get a date. But your men, your single fathers, they don't find it hard to get a date. They don't find it hard to get a woman to come in. Here's a great example of how we are different. Look at Nick Cannon, look at Future, look at NBA Youngboy, look at Cam Newton. Cam Newton, NBA Youngboy, they're married. They have multiple baby mamas. Same goes for Nick Cannon, same goes for Future. And if Nick Cannon really wanted to, he could get married today if he really, truthfully wanted to. Let's look at their counterparts, because you gotta understand, these guys are your 10%ers. A lot of women would probably say Summer Walker would be, I I guess not 1%, but a 10%, right? I guess they're going to say that Summer Walker will be a part of your 10% woman who makes a lot of money or whatnot. But look at how many men she's been through. Look at how many kids she has, and nobody wants to take her seriously. This is a great example of how a woman who is living the same lifestyle that a man is living can't get the same results that men are getting. This is exhibit A. This is exhibit A, man. You're pretty much upset because nature is telling you that, hey, listen, this is not how reality works, man. So instead of just simply making the change, or instead of simply just taking accountability and saying, you know what, man, look, maybe I might need to change myself, they will just create a TikTok, use that damn college degree, right? Because they're the most educated and all of this stuff. They will just create a TikTok to start pushing false narratives and lie on men. But understand, people, this is the logic of them, because these are the same women that would tell men, if you're going to cheat, stay single, right? And that's what men do. And men are like saying, hey, well, listen, you know what? I can just mess around with a bunch of women, find women, man, that's on my same level. And then here this woman goes, now trying to say that, hey, well, your men are just trying to, like, come on, bro. We got to stop with the BS, because this is a problem that women have created. And when you look at her, it's a problem that she created herself. Here's the thing. Nobody's saying a woman is morally wrong for sleeping around. Is that something that you should do? No, right? And nobody's trying to say men are morally right for sleeping around, even though men have always had multiple wives and men can still do the same thing to the very day. But nobody's saying that your women are morally wrong for sleeping around and sleeping with who they want to. But you can't then get upset when men are trying to tell you as a whole, you can do that, but don't get upset when we put you in a certain box. That's the issue that women don't like. Why you put me in a box? Because, man, we don't want a woman who sleep around. Well, y'all get to sleep around. Well, man, we're not the same. Yes, we are. Then why are we having this conversation then if we're the same? Understand, men never said sleeping with women is empowerment. Now, granted, some can look at that as, hey, well, man sleeping around with a woman, he feels like he has the power. He feels like he has the juice. I wouldn't necessarily say the power, but he feels like he has the juice. But your women who are literally used as a bucket, let's just keep it a bean, when they're used as a cleanup rag, right? And they sit over here and allow any and every man to dribble all up in their coos, they want to sit here and mask it as empowerment. They will say, hey, well, this is me getting back my power. This is me this is me that. And men are telling you they're repulsed by that, but only women can sit here and tell you, no, you shouldn't be. I mean, guys, like, just look at this video and y'all tell me, what do y'all think about our mindset?
If you are a Black American woman who identifies as a feminist and you actually do the work to show that you're a feminist, as in you are an activist, please disengage from the Black men who are more than willing to uphold the status quo in the Black American community. If you try to argue with them about interpersonal conflicts that involve colorism, texturism, featureism, and internalized anti-Blackness, they will try to shut you down by any means necessary. They're going to argue you to death. They are going to humiliate you. They are going to insult you. They are going to try to dominate you. They are going to do everything they can to win the argument. And it's not going to stop at that. Black American men, even the younger generation, are so stuck in their ways when it comes to things like colorism and anti-Blackness within the Black American community that they will disrespect their own just to feel like they are winning, just to feel like they have some type of status, because these are typically the men who either date outside their race or glorify dating outside their race. Don't even bother arguing with these men. These men are too far gone. They don't care about you. They don't care about the community. They just care about themselves. They're miserable. They not only hate themselves, they want Black women to hate themselves. They're so miserable that it's not enough for them to just hate Black women and to leave it alone. They want other Black women to hate Black women. For some reason, there is this strange misconception that Black Americans are less colorist than Caribbeans. And I just think that's ridiculous. Colorism exists in every group. So I just wanted to say Black Americans are not this utopia where we are accepting of one another and there's never, ever interpersonal conflict, because there is. But a lot of people want to sweep it under the rug because it's seen as airing dirty laundry. Even though we created the paper bag test or blue vein society or the ruler test. So colorism, texturism, and featureism was always in our communities. We just don't like to talk about it.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man. No, I wasn't thinking about it. Nah.
So now you just have to ask her, what status quo? What internalized hatred? I mean, like, what are we talking about? But you notice how she doesn't explain anything in the video. She just sits here and just rant and parrot everything other women said, right? She said for the women who are feminists and who show the work that they're feminists, which isn't much, it's you literally being extreme, you stating stuff that doesn't even make sense, you believe in astrology, you gaslighting your opponents, you getting in yelling matches and playing victim. That's all a feminist is today. But hey, guess what? That's great work. That's what you went to school for. That's what you got your degrees for. That's what you got 5 degrees for. The only good quality about this woman is the damn mommy milker she got sporting on that chest. That's the only good quality about this woman. She is probably about a good 3 or 4. And see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If there's a chick, man, that looks like her, but that had a way better mindset, I probably would deal with a chick like that. But she has to have the right head on her shoulders. But this one doesn't. You can't be ugly and stupid. But because she couldn't give any examples, I will give y'all some examples. Here's one of the big examples that you may get when it comes down to women crying and complaining about men, you know, who are quote unquote colorist or quote unquote have self-hatred. These men, you have a lot of brothers who will say they prefer light-skinned women, but you will have women who are like her who will sit here and say that is colorist. How is that colorist? Because why aren't you sitting over here, like, why are you hyping up only one race, or why are you only hyping up one shade of black? Because that's what I prefer. And nobody's saying that there's anything wrong with dark-skinned women. We just prefer light-skinned women. But they will try to force you to only hype up dark-skinned women, to the point, man, where you have light-skinned women scared to even hype up themselves. So the second a man will say something, oh man, you so beautiful, what do a lot of these women will say? Like, a lot of these light-skinned women will say, oh well, no, if you like me just because I'm light-skinned, like that's just not gonna work. But it's just like, and then what do the women say? They will say, hey, like me for who I am, get to know me. Well, ma'am, what attracted me over here was how you look, right? So once again, but these people are trying to force you to pretty much control what you like. But you know what's so funny? We had a video of this chick who said, you know what, your ugly woman started feminism.
Ugly girls and hoes created the feminism movement. I'm not gonna lie. So realistically, if you think about it, every time you are out and you see a pretty girl and she has an ugly friend with her, what does that ugly friend do? She instantly jumps into lesbian defense mode because she is an ugly Betty. The bitch is jealous. So when you try to talk to the cute girl, the ugly friend usually is like, leave her alone. She hates men. It's like, nah, bitch, you hate men. Back the fuck up. You know what I mean? And she will keep going. And you've seen videos where the cute friend will even tell the ugly friend, like, no, it's cool. And she still will be like, absolutely the fuck not, because she's not getting that same attention. So in the ugly girl's mind, men are evil, men are aggressive, men are everything bad because she can't fucking get the one she wants. You know what I mean? And so she deflects that onto her cute friend. And so then you also have another subcategory. So you have ugly girls and you have hoes. Hoes build a reputation for themselves. They're sleeping around, they're collecting babies, they're collecting bodies. The bitches just don't stop. And so after they're done living their whole life, now they're coming and looking for a man to save them, and no man is willing to save them. So again, they create the same agenda. Men are evil, men are monsters, men are selfish. No, you bitches are just two unlikable categories, and you bitches are going to attract what you put out, which is bullshit 24/7. So with that being that, it just grew so big with them just constantly projecting that message over and over and over, because hoes can be pretty. So you have girls that are pretty, but they're hoes. And so you see them being pretty and hating men, and then another girl jumps on because she's pretty and she hates men. Then you see an ugly girl, she's ugly and she hates men. Then another ugly girl jumps on and she's ugly and she hates men. And it just keeps fucking going. And it doesn't fucking make sense, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to compete with men until it's actually time to fucking come down and compete. They don't want to pay their own fucking bills. They don't want to change those fucking tires. That's the thing. Women feel like there is a competition where men don't see us as competition. They don't give a fuck. Like, you can't compete with something where you don't fucking compare. Women realistically don't do shit. Like, we cook, we clean, but men can also do that. A man, if he really needed to, he could cook a fucking meal. He could clean a fucking house. A woman, no matter how, I mean, she would have to to put some real logic together to fucking change a tire. Like, that's gonna take some fucking work. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's women that can do it, but I for sure am not one. If you take 10 men, they could cook and clean a house. If you take 10 women to change oil or to change a fucking tire, or even to even help you out in the fucking rain, them bitches ain't prepared with an umbrella, a chair, nothing. We just be like little bobbleheads walking around. So it just, I mean, that's where I think it came from. When I really sit back and think of it, ugly women and hoes created the feminist movement.
Right, and this is the sister that she's talking about. Because here's a video that this sister made about black women being picked on and this, that, and the third, as if we all don't get picked on, as if black men didn't get picked on daily in middle school. But once again, as a feminist, it is best to play victim. Let's look at the video.
I don't know what it is about black women who act like black women don't get bullied for being ugly or not fitting beauty standards, but it's a thing, especially at PWIs. If you're not super light skinned with long curly hair, if you're not mixed, if you're not racially ambiguous, a lot of times you are targeted by anti-black beauty standards and colorist beauty standards. And a lot of it is simply, if they didn't hit you, if they didn't beat you up, then you weren't bullied. Black women have literally told me this. They would say, well, I got bullied and beat up for being pretty and light-skinned with good hair and a nice body. I think you're just making it up. Wow. But if I were to say some of y'all be making up your experiences just to shit on those that you consider less attractive than you, then I'm the bad guy, right? A lot of y'all just don't like to admit that as black women, y'all too target black women who don't meet the beauty standard in the black community or in any community for that matter. A lot of y'all are mean girls and y'all try to hide behind, oh, we're all women, we all go through bullying, we all go through this and stuff like that. And while I do agree, a lot of it is just to dismiss the experiences of black women.
No offense, my baby, no offense. But you ugly as shit. You ugly as shit. I wouldn't smash.
Once again, guys, internalized hatred. I mean, people, we got to get better with some of this stuff, man. These women are off the chain, right? These women are off the chain. Because once again, they will get upset with you. They will get upset with you for simply wanting to date a light-skinned woman, but then they will turn around. They will turn around and say they want a cocoa bean baby. They will turn around and they will sit around and hype up light-skinned brothers themselves. I mean, a lot of them love Chris Brown. What are we talking about? We can't have preferences now? And the funniest thing about this whole video is that she said she talked to a man and she said she was talking to him about some substance, that she was this, that, you know, she was doing that. She was trying to show the mindset that she has. Well, it's like, ma'am, did you not ever think that the mindset that you have is the reason that he said, you know what, she's only good for one thing? That's it. But this is proof that women lack self-awareness and that women are trying to force you to accept their ideology. Let's just keep it being. Because why would you get upset with a man and say, well, you know, he only wanted one thing and he think he's this and he think he's that? Like, this is what women mask it as. Instead of just simply coming out right and saying that, hey, I felt disrespected because, you know, this man, we had conversations and I thought we was getting somewhere, but he didn't want to, you know, he didn't want to go anywhere with it. And he only saw me one way. And you don't even think to look in the mirror and simply say that, hey, maybe it's me. But no, these women don't mind using their degree to just create a TikTok and just complain about problems they created. But guess what? Since she thinks she coming up in here doing something, you got to give it a conquest special. You got to. Once again, guys, these women lack self-awareness and there are always double standards that this woman won't even talk about, right? That there's double standards when it comes down to the court system where where court systems benefit women. She's not talking about that. She's not talking about your double standards where a woman can sit here and lie on men all day, every single day, and nothing happens to them, right? But the man career is destroyed. She doesn't talk about that. She doesn't talk about how majority of your custody goes to the women instead of it automatically being 50-50 custody. She doesn't talk about that. She doesn't talk about, once again, how your woman can hit men and how your woman can hit men, but men can't hit back. But this is women's logic, and this is the women that we have in our sisterhood, and it's just sad, right? Our sisterhood is just falling to pieces. But, you know, guys, y'all let me know down below what y'all guys think. Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Till the next one.